Hey guys, welcome back. BDCKR here, and we're back with an interruption in our regularly scheduled programming. Our Q&A has been bumped this week because my partner in crime has a school deadline coming up. And just our luck, in a fight this morning, I have the latest and maybe the last, we never get any faster, in our line of fastest Phantom Zone Elite Crystals ever videos. And if you want to see the fight strategy, the team makeup, discussion, the gear loadout, you can see it in our playlist linked in the description that has nothing but Phantom Zone speedruns. The main tweak here is in deciding which Phantom Zone task we want to start with. The new strategy is really sort of just two minor things. To not have the 20 fights in a row task, it's only worth 135 points, usually takes 4 fights to complete. If we have the 10 online multiplayer fights in a row for 270 points, that's great. If we don't, that's okay too. Our previous strategy used to rely on re-rolling tasks until one of them was the 270, but we've changed our minds about that. So hold on, we'll take a look. So there we go, 2 tasks, finished real fast. So that's unfortunate. We got a little bit unlucky because there's no 10 multiplayer fight tasks, and the steel power task is not worth doing if you want to finish it quick, but we should be able to complete the damage over time task in one fight. This gear setup, or this team setup, is bad because Killing Joke Joker will give their Shazam the 3 bars of power to do super. But the good thing about the Shazam is he only does a small amount of super damage, and he's not going to knock out Wonder Woman, so we won't lose our bonuses. We can wait him out, and we should be able to get our damage over time with our Aquaman. There's one. He's going to bleed him out. Oh, unfortunately gets knocked out, but we should still be able to get our task done, because if we need to, Wonder Woman tagging in the second time with Master's Death card will get her damage over time effect off her Ibis stick with every tag and hit from Master's Death card. So this should bleed him out really fast. Yeah, there we go. That's a lot of damage. Okay. Should be relatively quick knockout. And let's see whether we get lucky or not. There we go. 10 online matches in a row. So that's going to take us 2 fights. Now, none of the other 3 are doable in one fight. Some of them are doable, but none of them are doable in one fight. And the key is we're doing a speed run. So we're going to re-roll the steel power, and we got lucky. We got steel health, which is doable in one fight. So that's interesting. We face Shazam again. So we've got the steel health. Part of speeding things up is knowing that 2 complete combo enders, and most of 2 combo enders, even if you don't complete them for Flashpoint Batman, is enough. So instead of wasting time trying to do a bunch more once we've got our 2, what we're just going to do is bring in Wonder Woman, because specials will still be faster. Even if the combo enders can win, we just want to do that as fast as possible. And going back to talking about the first 2 tasks that we have at the beginning, as long as we have the basic attack damage task and the steel health task, both are probably going to be completed in the first fight. It opens up 2 slots, and either we get the 20 fights worth 135 or the 10 fights worth 270 show up. If it's 20, we're no worse off, but if it's a 10, then we've just saved ourselves a slot. Right, what do we get? Steel power again, which is crap. So that's worth re-rolling right away. We need to go back and look and see what it is, so we'll wait till the screens play out. Let's go back. Basic damage, perfect, easy. So the key really is, by not waiting for the re-rolls for the 270, we've got an extra slot at the beginning that we can use. Let's see what we've got. All right, so bleeding, we do that right away, mainly because that lets us do more basic damage. Harley Quinn's probably actually taken enough damage already, so we don't have to worry too much. So we can do as much as we can to try to speed up the fight, and we have an opportunity at the end that's not going to cost us time to do a bit more basic damage. Totally worth it. And one of our other tasks, I think, was blocking, so maybe if we block a little bit, we could finish up our tasks. There's some more damage. Okay. So the key really is multiplayer. So if you get the task and you start from the first fight, it takes 3 to get it with all the bonuses. But it only takes 2 fights if we start anywhere after, right? So the fight 1 is only worth 3 fights. Fight 2 is worth 5. Fight 3 is worth 6. So 2 and 3 is enough. You add 1 to it, it actually makes no difference. If you start with 1, you're still not there. So if you're actually getting multiplayer the 10 multiplayer task after, that's even better. All right, so lucky, steal health and damage over time. We can probably do both of those in the same fight, and we'll probably be able to finish the blocking too if we're lucky, if we have the chance. Okay. 2 specials from Aquaman 1 should be enough to satisfy the damage over time requirement. Quake Engine guarantees that, and there we've done most of 2 combo enders, so we're actually good. We've satisfied that one. Now we're just going to try to get a second bar so we can do 2 bleeds, and even if there's not enough on Nightwing, when Batman Who Laughs tags in, he's going to take more than enough damage. We just need to have him. There we go. Okay. So while we're waiting for him to bleed out a bit, it'll satisfy our block requirements, and that's probably enough. We don't need to waste too much time bleeding because specials are still going to be faster to finish the fight if we just bring Wonder Woman in, and we're done. All right, 5 fights so far. Let's see where we're at. What do we get? All right, supers are not possible. Steel power is not possible. 10 online fights is 270. It's great. Finishes in 2 fights, which is the rest of the ladder. But that's just shy of getting us to 1500. It'll only get us to 1490. So we need to reroll 1 more basic damage, and that's it. That 5 nth medals is well spent. So when we're fighting an Arkham team with Batgirl, who's going to save them, our strategy is we want Batman to trigger Batgirl's tag in. So we want Batman to finish Harley Quinn off. So we're going to just potentially bleed her out a little bit more so she's really close so that when Batman tags in, he's still got his invulnerability. When he knocks her out, oh, even better. But we're lucky, right? Here, Batgirl tags in. It saves us a bunch of time. Wonder Woman comes in as our special specialist. She's the fastest. She's going to she knocked her right out. So we've got more than enough of a health pool left in Catwoman to satisfy the basic damage one. And besides, we need 2 fights anyway, so we're not too worried. But we saved a ton of time because Batgirl tagged in. And ta-da! All right, basic damage is done. Steal health is easy. We do that in 1 fight. We don't need to, though. Stealing health still takes more time than it would be to just finish the fight as fast and as quickly as possible. And here's the thing. The thing that's going to slow us down is probably Dawn of Justice Batman, because our specials are going to be the fastest. We're going to knock him out pretty darn quick. We'll get our power back, even with just the 2 hits. That should be enough. Right. And he's bleeding, so it magnifies your damage. This should be more than enough again. So even if Dawn of Justice Batman dodges, it's still faster using specials than trying to finish him off with just Batman's basics, especially since we don't need to satisfy any other task. So there we go. And we look at the clock in the bottom left. 8 minutes and we'll say 20 seconds because it just told us we're done. Okay, so depending on how you count it, whether it requires just the first 1500 points to unlock the final fight, which is 820, or whatever time it takes to finish the final fight, we're looking at a completion of a crystal in less than 9 minutes. I think that is really gonna be the key. One of the things too with this strategy is if you don't reshuffle Phantom Zone tasks to require the 10 multiplayer 270 point task, it speeds things up even more in between fights, and it just costs you less time overall. And if you're lucky, actually, you'll get the 10 multiplayer tasks like we did a little bit later, and it still only takes 2 fights to complete. The key things, I think, are that basic damage and steal health are the best tasks because they're easiest. 1 fight, no matter which fight in the ladder you're doing in multiplayer, is possible to do both. Damage over time, either total damage over time or 120 damage over time effects are close second and third, mainly because you can consistently finish them in 1 and 2 fights respectively without having to do any time wasting like tag-ins or blocking. You just spend more time doing it. And I guess the other point is deciding when to re-roll can save you a lot of time too. We just spent 10th metal to finish a crystal run in less than 9 minutes. That seems like a deal to me. And just overall, this was a great run, but there are parts where time could have been saved. One would be not having the opponent do a super like Shazam did in one of the early fights. But this is close to being almost a perfect run with some good task rerolls. So I think faster is possible, but it may be a while before everything aligns perfectly for that to happen. And that's it for this week. So this is where we like to thank our patrons on Patreon, and that would be Victor Gomez, Consul Peasant, and Edwoon, supporting us at the top tier Last Word, Sinemac and Mohammed Albshaiti at the Your Message Here tier, Shawn Farrell, Daniel Simonson, Aaron Maule, Michael DeVries, Brandon C., Irvin Ruiz, and Eddydoo at the credited level, and Chris Wolff, Scarlet, Dani, Awesomegamer 241, Pavu RS, Gavin, Mallott, and Isfar at the gratitude level. Thank you guys so much for watching, and we'll see you next time. Komoda.